both platforms. So I'll say indeed, greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me here again. Another live stream, another moment. Yesterday we talked a little bit about the bad allowing almost a vacuum in certain ways, perspective in certain ways, an opportunity in certain ways for the good to come in. And I want to attach today's topic almost to that same understanding, but talking about pain. Hey, beloved Shannon, thank you for saying hi to me. Thank you for saying hi to Christian. He's having writer's he's having writer's block right now or something.
I don't have writer's block, bro.
What do you
I
want to
have
say?
writer's cock.
I'm just imagining a person called Writer, dude, suddenly losing his member and you having it. I have.
It's the power cock, bro. If you ever want to be a good writer, you need writer's cock.
The more you know, friends. The more we all.
I'm so sorry. I take all of that back. I take all of it back. Please forgive me. I'm in a strange space today.
It's okay, Christia.
I've got a few
You're perfectly okay.
alcoholic beverages in me already, so.
This dude works at a place that allows him to work on his own projects on Fridays. Not only does he get to work on his own projects, but he also gets to have beers at work. You know, so
For free!
for free.
For free!
Have free beers at work, you know.
Yeah, dude, I really don't underappreciate the place that I'm at right now, bro.
They might still be underappreciating you. So I was thinking about that today, Christian. You don't have to go straight out and be like, "Hey, bish, raise now." You tell him, "Hey, what can I do in the next 3 months that will make me a more valuable employee?" You know? And then in that 3 months, you look for better
Leave
work,
me alone.
finding, competitive salaries, and then we can, like this dude wants to move to a whole different city in the next 6 months, basically. 7 months, give or take. But he believes that it's too early for him to start looking for a job or apartments or planning all of that stuff. So I'm like, spazzing out for him. Hello, Ramesh. Ramu. Thank you for joining us. Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure having you here, Jovan. What a genuine pleasure. Thank you, friends. Finding yourself in the space with me. Joel, thank you for the all seeing up vote. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter. Yes! Joel joined us on Patreon as well, and I'm like eternally grateful. Like genuinely, dude, I enjoy making that space so much. I kind of think of the Patreon as this world that I'm building right now. And I imagine in the future that we'll be able to have the capacity to almost live in both. I feel our immediate future, and immediate is relative, but within the next 5 years, I feel we're going to make more strides into pass through than anything. In a way where instead of trying to escape our reality will become multi-layered. That's the way that I think about it, at least. So, on a very visceral level, instead of trying to put a screen in your environment and then use that screen to view things, your environment would serve as the palette, the potentiality for all of the things that we can experience. And it's something that really fascinates me in this context of where we're going in the future, what the internet's going to look like in the future, what interactions like this is going to look like in the future. And I genuinely do imagine it as a space, right? Like I think of it already as we're sharing space right now. You're looking through a window almost into my reality, seeing a little snippet of my reality right now. And on the other side, I can't do the same with you right now. But I think within like the next maybe 10 years, we'll literally go to places. Like you would literally be able to come into this space, sit down with me, have conversations. It would be I don't even know how to explain it. It's going to be like we're going to be creating our own dimensions as self. And then instead of trying to completely and authentically explain to someone who you are, you can literally invite them into your world. You can invite people into your world. People can see things through your eyes, or at least the things that you want to see through your eyes, people will be allowed to see as well. And for me, for as long as I can remember, I've had this deep respect and fascination for flowers. And now I get to make these flowers. So I imagine my future online space being one of like, I don't know, like a hyper techno flower garden. Is that a way to explain it? Maybe. What day is it there? What day is it here? Well, it's Thursday today? Friday. It's Friday today. It's Friday here as well, friend. I had to think about that for a second. Time becomes wonky. How about how about you? What day is it for you, friend? Thank you for joining us, Element. Hello to you, friend. A pleasure having you here. Gave free silver to someone else in honor of you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Yolanda. Please go and share those. I feel we've gotten enough Reddit awards, to last us a lifetime at this point. What day is it there? Again, it's nice to have you. Alexander? Joining us? Isn't it? Maybe your username is spelled incorrectly on the YouTube. Because I usually say Alexandre. But Alexander, thank you for joining us on the Reddit today. How are you finding it? Hey, Bob Buzzington, nice to have you here as well. Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. I feel I have a lot of momentum to talk about a bunch of things, but instead of just starting to spaz, let's just take a few breaths. If you want to, breathing with me, trying to create a little bit of rhythm in your breath. Holding for like a second at the top of your breath and just lengthening your exhale as well. Just taking a moment for yourself to breathe. You are fine. You're gonna be okay. Life is going to be beautiful. It's going to be abundant. It's going to be generous. It's going to be kind. I had a moment today where I was, what's the word I'm looking for?
Aroused.
No, more like almost called out, but I don't know if called out is the right word. Maybe a little bit. Maybe called out is the closest word that I can find right now. For trying to share love, for trying to make the most out of unpleasant circumstances. And there was this like, no, nobody asked. And then I was like, but we're in a public forum, one. So technically you did ask. You asked the entire human public. So this is the way. And on the other side, it was this understanding, this feeling, this like genuine expression almost of choosing if I want to make more pain, right? And the thing is as well, it's a paradox. Like this pain pleasure thing is a paradox where allowing yourself only pleasurable experiences creates almost a balancing system inside of yourself that makes you feel pain. And then when you feel that pain, it can become so unbearable that you try to throw yourself back into pleasure. And then you start to do pleasurable things, be it eating food, be it watching content, be it add your thing here. You start to do it just to feel normal, just to feel like you're kind of balanced. And on the other side of that spectrum, doing things that are painful to you, like exercise, like occasional fasting, like cold showers, like going out and trying to grow a new skill and being in an uncomfortable, even sometimes in pain state, in trying to learn something, and then being allowed pleasure on the other side of it. So it's this constant back and forth of inside of ourselves. And I was like looking at that today, especially with this person's comment of like, oh, the things I'm saying isn't requested or something like that. And I was like, huh, Can things said from a place of love induce pain in certain individuals? And if that pain becomes induced, will that then lead to them finding more happiness inside themselves? And then that, kind of going back and forth in my head as well. Bob Busson, indeed, greetings, meet more, cherished friend Meltmore. It's nice to have you, beloved Gob. Thank you for finding yourself here with us. Shannon, it's a pleasure having you here, friend. Natalie, pain and pleasure are not mutually exclusive. No, they're not. They're part of the same balance. There has to be a balance. There has to be. Mariah joining us as well. What a pleasure.
Mariah Carey.
Not Mariah Carey. Damn it. Mariah
Chill,
Marvin
bro.
Moreau. No, her
Chill.
name was not really Marvin Moreau.
Chill, King
I'm-
of Chill.
I'm
bro.
trying to make a joke with you, and now you're like interrupting the flow, Christian. Like her name is saved as Marvin Merrow, and like for the longest time I was like, oh, this Marvin person that tunes into the streams, and meanwhile it's actually Mariah undercovering. I went through natural births because I know that the brain would stimulate other neurochemicals in my brain to counteract the pain. Try to convince him I am Natalie Portman. We have Natalie Portman in chat as well, dude.
Natalie Portman.
Mariah Carey and Natalie,
Natalie
Portman.
Portman. Shit, dude.
Yeah,
You're
100%.
pulling all the hot celebrities.
Just the hottest of the celebrities. Like there's a barrier to entry. Like if they're not
Now
all
we
the way
just
hot.
need like Jessica Alba and Jennifer Lawrence, and we're set, dude.
Jennifer Lawrence sounds more familiar. Is Jennifer Lawrence from Friends? I don't know. I don't know these people, but it's the
Fucking Gen Z, bro.
wait. Jennifer Lawrence is Katniss Everdeen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You're forgiven.
Okay. Oh, I'm forgiven. Thank goodness. I was going to lose sleep tonight with Christian hating me for not remembering movie characters. Unfortunately, some actors were so good in their roles that they're forever that role in my mind, right? Like Barney Stinson, for example. I cannot see that actor in any role without having the full fractal of Barney Stinson come back to my mind. Try to get someone Natalie Portman. Yes, going through labor without painkillers was the most profound experience. Ooh, I'm imagining it as a whole psychedelic trip almost. Where your body has to compensate for the amount of pain you're going through, while at the same time understanding what it is going through. Like, oh, good, I cannot imagine Christian bearing a child into this world. Can you, even for a second, try to imagine that?
Bearing a child into this world, dude.
Yeah.
Life is so brutal, bro.
Hardcore.
Like, girls, I'm sorry. Like, on behalf of the universe, on behalf of fucking reality, woman out there, I am so sorry. I'm actually so fucking sorry. As to the shit that you need to go through to just have a fucking kid, man. It's actually stupid. But at the same time, I feel like it forms such a powerful and strong bond between mother and child. It's almost like without a choice, to be honest. It's like, I've gone through 9 fucking months, my dude. 9 fucking months and excruciating hours of pain to push you through my own fucking body into this universe. There's no way I'm not gonna love you, bro. There's just no way.
It's
No way I'm not gonna love
It's
you.
a trip you decided to say all of those things as well, Christian, because the first thing that my mind went to when you started apologizing to the women is artificial wombs. What is that going to do
That's
to
a
us?
massive debate.
Right?
It's a massive debate.
Like, and what is that going to do in that context of if you don't have that pain connection, that almost understanding of the significance of you bearing this child? How is that going to affect the love we have for our children? Oh goodness, it's a whole trip. But I think it's coming. I do think it's coming. I think the thing that I kind of think about more than the fact that it's coming is the fact that over multiple generations, humans might actually lose the ability to have normal children. What a trip that is. Like, oh goodness. The future we're moving into is ever shifting right now. Now we have to post pics of NPH with his husband and twins to flip Mel's mind. My mind is being flipped just reading those sentences. Now we have to post pics of NPH with his husband and twins to flip Mel's mind. My mind's being flipped right now. For real, what's the most painless pain I've ever experienced? Painless pain, dude. How about that? Bearing a child had painless pain. I'm trying to imagine what painless pain is like. I'm imagining it as the same type of pain. No, I'm horribly mistaken already just in thinking it. But I'm imagining like the type of pain that you get from like pushing yourself extremely hard in an exercise routine, for example, and the endorphins and stuff that your brain releases to help you cope with that. Might get close, but I don't think it would be the full effect. You literally get superpowers from having a baby. I'm pretty sure. And I don't think you're ever the same again either as
Never
well.
again.
Yeah. Painless pain is a good description. Tears is still stung though. It's the most incredible pain that both hurts and doesn't. What do you friends think? Thanks to the chemical cocktail brain response. Like I'm really curious. And it's so crazy that we're talking about this specifically today with the topic, like pain for pleasure. You know, the fact that you going through the pain of bearing a child can be pleasurable, right? So, in this context, what do you think of artificial wombs, right? No time at the present to discuss things like this. So, what do you think of artificial wombs? Would you, if you could, opt in to having your child outside of yourself? Would you maybe on top of that question, would you love the children you have right now any less if they came from an artificial womb, right? Still your genetic material, if you will, but not incubated by your body.
Are you still fucking rolling, bro? It's been like 7 hours.
Christian, have you not figured it out? I'm Grandmaster of Chill, apparently.
Grandmaster
chill.
taking his sweet ass time, bro.
Yeah, dude. I don't have anything rushing me. What do you want to add an intention?
Understanding.
Mm.
I would love to understand the actual fear, not just the sympathy. I'm incapable of empathy when it comes to childbirth. Sympathy is something I'm good at in terms of the imagination that I have available to me, but I cannot ever quantify it one for one as to what it's really like. From the small amount that I can process, it must be absolutely mortifyingly terrifying.
Like you can technically die during childbirth.
It's a risk, bro.
Yeah,
It's a horrible, horrible risk, and not just you, the child can die.
that's the thing, dude.
Even worse so is stillbirths. When you stay alive and your child dies. A morbid topic.
It's not morbid. It's something that a lot of people go through.
A morbid topic, and yet a very, very real one that happens to us out there all the time. If you guys do know people that have gone through stillbirths, no matter the brave and strong face that they put up, you be there for them. You be there for them and you love them
We
because
actually had friends in this space who can't go into that, dude.
they bloody need it.
Like it's something that we cannot understand, right? Like I'm imagining it from this perspective of me planning, right? Imagining the fractals of the future, imagining what this child could be, imagining the relationship we could have with one another, imagining the time that will be spent together, and then losing all of that in an instant. You know, I don't think it's something that we can really process. Because the way we usually process literally gets taken away from us in that moment. Ooh. Yeah. pain versus pleasure, dude. Like I'm having a hard time trying to find the pleasure aspect in that pain. Can there be?
What?
We're talking about pain and pleasure as being dualities today. Same thing, right? A feeling.
You
But
can garner a lot of pleasure from pain.
now what I'm asking specifically is there any pleasure in losing a child like that?
No.
But like
Well,
that's the
you've
thing.
got to, when it comes down to the ethics and morals that we've agreed to in unison as humanity, no. I'm not saying it's impossible. There may yet be people out there with the capacity and the different neural pathways
So
to process that as pleasure.
I'm not trying to say that there is a pleasure because of the happening, but more so because of the painful stimuli, pleasure is allowed afterwards, not a direct connection.
Oh, do you mean not in consequence to the experience?
Yes.
You mean later on?
Exactly.
I think people that have gone through that level of extreme hurt and just straight up trauma become very kind. Or rather, should become very kind.
I think you gain new understanding, you know. So
I know some may turn bitter and vile and hateful and spiteful and cynical, but some may yet understand more.
So maybe the perspective of being able to bring pleasurable experiences into the lives of others because of the pain experience.
I think they get a better understanding of what pain is really like
Mm.
and how we can never ever possibly imagine the kind of pain that someone else might be going through. As simple as dropping your sandwich on the floor.
Ooh. Dude,
You don't know how much pain that
Yeah.
person could be experiencing from dropping their sandwich on the floor.
you know, like that's very interesting you say that. Ryan actually shared with me this understanding that humans perceive pain in a conceptual way where they told themselves a story about the pleasure they'll have, and then taking that pleasure away causes them more pain than is almost reasonable is the word I'm looking for. To the point, like the example that I had is my mom bought like a bottle of like pineapple juice or something like that, and there was like a third of the bottle left, and then I had it, and my brother woke up that morning thinking that there is still pineapple juice left, and it was on the morning of my birthday, and he just lost his shit, dude. He lost his shit about not having pineapple juice, and I was like, bruh. What is the problem? And then I shared, you know, that understanding or that feeling with Ryan, and he mentioned this loss that we feel when we think we're gonna have something, and then suddenly that thing isn't there, you know. And it's interesting human behavior in that way. Something small can be just as painful as you said, Christian. Dropping your sandwich. You maybe spent the whole day imagining how great this sandwich is gonna be. How full you'll be after eating it, how satisfied you'll be that you've waited all this time, and then you drop your sandwich, and then you not only experience the pain of losing your sandwich, but you also experience the pain of losing all of the things you thought you would have. Expectation, attachment, and then suffering. And then pain. And then where is the potential pleasure in that? Not doing it, growing out of that loop maybe. Maybe there's pleasure in that. Actually noticing how you keep doing the same things over and over again. Think of the worst indigestion you've ever had times 1,000,000,000 or so. That's just what labor feels like. Yes.
What is it? What?
Indigestion.
Indigestion.
Yeah, it makes kind of sense, but like 1,000,000,000 times worse. 1,000,000,000. I can't even imagine. I don't think I should be trying to. Oh, that was pregnancy for me. I'm so happy to see synchronicities in you too as well. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Alexandre, I just spent the last hour trying to write the community outreach post and then took 30 minutes stressing. It wasn't good enough. Oh, friend, You are so fine, Alexander. So fine, friend. Like, fortunately, all of us in this space love you, and we will not judge you. Unless you say that one thing you're not supposed to say, then we're gonna, oh, so judge. Burn you at the stake instantly. You got this, Alexander. Thank you for doing what you do, friend. Kate! I'm doing well, friend. I'm feeling a little bit anxious. You know, I mentioned to Christian that the city does give me this sense of anxiety. Not anxiety like completely, but this anxiety of contemplation where I'm like, oh, thinking about these things. Oh, what about these things? What about that thing? You know, instead of just kind of allowing myself to be a little bit more calm. And I feel like it is partly just me maybe tuning in a little bit to the understanding that city folk can sometimes have about the urgency at which they need to do things, need to get places. Part of me feels like I'm back in this space, reflecting on who I was in this space the previous time, and then tripping out about who I should be right now, maybe. All of the trips, being a human being, is not easy sometimes. Can be very painful, but it's pleasurable as well at the same time, fortunately. Shannon, without in the past, I was in a relationship with someone whose brother and their wife had a baby prematurely. After 3 to 4 months, there was nothing more that the hospital could do for the baby and took it off life support while being surrounded by family. I was there, and it was one of the most soul crushing things I've ever witnessed. I can't even imagine. Like, I feel like that might even be worse than a stillborn baby because at least there is this hope inside of you that there might still be a way for the little one to pull through. Soul crushing is right, Shannon. Just gives us even more appreciation for being here, having been a baby, right? Like I still trip out about that fact that at one point in my existence, I was a baby, being held in my mom's arms, looking out at the world, not understanding anything, still smiling, still being excited, still wanting to be close to something. From that pain, extracting pleasure just for being here in this moment with you friends right now. Thank you. Thank you for still living, friends. Drain. It's Pauly Shore and Heath Ledger. It's if maybe Pauly Shore and Heath Ledger had a love child back from the beyond. What's up, my guy? I'm doing well. I don't know who Pauly Shore is. Do you know who Pauly Shore is? You do?
No.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know Pauly Shore's friend. Thank you though for seeing the fractals, seeing the frequencies, seeing humans in me. I see humans in you as well. We share 99.9% of our DNA, friend. And then that 1% is where things get a little wacky. And I look this way and you look the way you look. But we're the same thing, friend. We're the same thing. Genetic equality is probably going to be a real thing in our future, but it's going to be so laden with ethics. Oh goodness. Huh, Christian? What do you think of that? The fact that in our future, genetic equality is going to be something that comes into question.
It will definitely come into question.
Oh yes, and not only that, but you'll be able to go and change that. Change your genetics. Pauly Shore is an American comedian with a unique way of saying buddy. I don't know if that's even close to it, but thank you, Natalie, for sharing with me, friend. I'm trapped in a work shift with literally no work to be done and 7 hours yet to go. Ooh. That is hard, Gob. I mean, have you considered writing something? That's usually how I kind of like killed work time where I couldn't be doing anything. I could not help but say it out loud. But I had to as well, Mariah. I don't even know if it's close, but it sounded like something that needed to be said. You friends, my buddies, thank you for joining me. Love you. Thank you, Jovan, for love. Thank you for the helpful Kate. Bob Bussin with as hard as it is sometimes. Try and make the best out of every day. Yesterday, I found out a close friend got diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma. You know what melanoma is? Type of cancer?
I believe so. Melanoma is a serious form of skin cancer.
Dude. Stage 4 skin cancer. Thank you, skin. What a trip today's stream is already. Pain versus pleasure. And it sounds morbid in a way, you know, to be able to extract pleasure. And I feel maybe it's because of the word pleasure. Pleasure sounds a little bit separated, right? It doesn't feel like the right word, but to know of these things, to know that someone is, well, someone in the world, you know, looking at their hands, being in this experience that you are as well, got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And instead of being in this state of like, oh, life is unfair, life is so horrible, life is unacceptable, to notice that you don't have that right now and just to be grateful for that. You know, and in that gratitude, finding some sense of pleasure. I wrote plur on this and pain. Plur and pain. And Christian added understanding as well. Pain, pleasure, peace, love, unity, respect, understanding, pain, pleasure, peace, love, unity, respect, understanding, pain, pleasure, peace, love, unity, respect, understanding. That's a lot of stuff, yo. All at the same time. I could not say it aloud. Today I just might be going grocery shopping on myself for the first time in the last 6 years. You got this, Shannon. What do you want to get? Is there anything specific? Anything that you feel, you know, might be nice to cook for yourself? If you're going to be getting your own groceries, maybe even getting something that you haven't had in the last 6 years. Thank you, as always, for sharing your progress, your growth, your experience of becoming more yourself with us, Shannon. We will continue to encourage you. Dang, sorry to hear that. Do you have a good book with you to help pass the time? God, do let us know, friend. I haven't been reading as much as I want to. Boredom, tiresome, and reading ex exacerbates sleeplessness. I don't know what that word means, God. Excerbates? Bates. Exacerbates?
Exacerbates.
No, it's not exacerbates.
What is it?
Bates. Exacerbates. Exacerbates.
Exacerbates.
He was reading exacerbates sleeplessness.
Increases.
That's what I'm reading. Oh, yes, but the boredom, tiresome, and reading exacerbates sleeplessness. Maybe Gob is just like melting my brain right now. Types bunch of words.
Encourages sleeplessness.
Oh,
Enables
exacerbates maybe, like where it makes it worse.
That's what I just said. Exacerbates.
Yeah, I think that might be the right word. Misa stupid. Misa not confirmed. Thank you. I hope you feel better about the bed. Do try and take some time away from screens. You know, like genuinely, friends. This understanding of pain versus pleasure, it kind of like bleeds directly into that as well. Like having access to these screens and the things that they allow us to see can be pleasurable experiences. But if we only do that, the pain on the other side becomes almost unbearable of not having that. So spending time with yourself, just being, just breathing, with no external distraction. I don't only want to say it is necessary, but it's of utmost importance if we're going to be mentally healthy while being ultra interconnected with the internet age as it is right now. It's not about bad, it's about balance. If you do both, love yourself, take care of yourself, exercise, spend time with yourself, then these experiences, these internet experiences, only become more beautiful because you have a newfound appreciation for them. Love you. Thank you for the love, Gowdy Goo. Is that a Cura Burb I see? Love to you, friend. Kate! Oh, you're talking to Katie. You're. Join. I'm a... There's an ashtray there, but let me put this down here. Sorry, yes, sorry, girls. Y'all got a raw deal out of the whole human thing, but I think you're all doing amazing. They're the most powerful beings in our world, dude. No jokes. Top comment of God. Women, no jokes, are going to be the drivers of our future. I think we're moving into the matriarchal side of our society now again. I think the civilizations we had before, maybe like Göbekli Tepe, maybe maybe like the ancient Aztecs as well. Were they
What?
matriarchal? Like the moms, the compassionate energy was the most powerful one. Your friend's gonna be necessary, not only in like a conceptual way, but we're going to need women to stand up and actually take their power back, be themselves more than ever, dude. And I feel maybe in a way like these artificial wombs are coming.
It's happening already, dude.
Yeah, like I know.
It's happening already.
100%.
I think this is probably speaking from personal experience, so do forgive my what should I call it? My blasphemy almost. Is y'all girls, please remember that there are guys out there that are kind and they do care and they do mean the best and they do truly try to look after you. Try not to treat them like shit. I think that's something important to remember as things equalize for both male and female.
Equality, dude. That word is so loaded. So loaded.
The problem is that when you don't have power for so long, suddenly it's handed to you. Don't be surprised when a few lives are taken in the process.
I feel the matriarchal side of our energy wouldn't necessarily be that way. I feel the matriarchal side would rather take power than life. You know, and that power can come in many different ways. And it might potentially be worse in this context of equality, but it can also be opportunity for the individuals that get taxed that way to grow past it. And you're like, oh, that's very vague, Melt. Okay, fine. So what I mean is, I think the future we're moving into might be more dystopian, but from a compassionate place. At least that's what I hope for. You know, all I can do is hope for the best and try and be the best I can be, and then hopefully things turn out the best. If every single human being on planet Earth tries to be the best they can be, the planet will be fine, right? Like we can think that at least.
Do you think the people out there aren't trying the best that they can?
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I kind of fucking do. Everyone is trying the best that they can for their personal lives, bro.
For their personal lives,
If
yes.
they're alive,
Yes.
yeah,
for their personal lives. But
They're
that's the
alive,
point,
they sure as hell are trying.
right? Like, I feel that is the thing. Like, at the moment, we are in this society where you have to survive for yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's this,
Into old age.
it's this uber
We've now placed
fear-based
that.
mindset.
We've now placed that on our elders, bro. We're like, I don't want to look after you when you're old. You got to look after yourself.
Robots, so
Jesus Christ.
yep,
Robots.
that's where it's going, and it's coming fast.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna happen for us,
What do you mean?
your mom and dad, my dad. We're gonna
Okay.
get old before that shit is readily available to the rest of humanity, bro.
Mm-mm. They'll be old in 20 years, dude.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
People age spectacularly when they allow themselves to.
My dad is exercising again.
That's good.
My mom is exercising.
Your mom's a fucking G, dude.
She's
Holy
an absolute
crap.
machine. She can do it.
This woman can hold a 2-minute plank. So it for myself.
Like they have a
I'm not
conversation
lying.
about this. My mom says she can hold a 2-minute plank, and Christian is like, yeah, like I wouldn't see this.
How old is she? 52?
51, 52. No, 51. 51.
51.
Yeah, this year 51.
51 years old. 51-year-old lady holding a 2-minute fucking plank. Let me see you guys do that, bro.
It's gangster. My mom, like, I have very inspiring parents. I do, and I wouldn't be the person I am if it wasn't for them. And it's this trip, Christian. And you go through it more than anyone, I feel. Christian has this genuine, beautiful way where he feels so responsible, you know, and he trips himself out, guilts himself extremely if he cannot do everything. Period. Shit. You know, I need to do everything. Oh, damn it, I'm not doing literally everything. I'm a horrible person. But like Christian wants to live his own life, but he so badly wants to be there for his dad as well. And I feel like that's something that we all go through in a way. And that is all a pain pleasure thing as well, Christian.
It comes down to time. It happens to all of us. It just differs at which point in your life it happens.
Yeah.
It's scary. Very, very scary how quickly it can happen. So, love them while they're there.
Mm.
You will never have a connection the same as you do with your parents. They are the ones that know you literally better than anyone else, no matter how old you get.
So they do know you better than anyone, but I feel they are the people that know you the least in certain ways as well, dude. They maybe understand you the least. They may know you.
Bro, they're the ones that love you unconditionally, at
Yeah.
least if parenting is done correctly, which in a lot of cases it is. In today's society, parenting has been upgraded, my dude. We have a lot closer relations with the children that we birth into the world right now.
Mm.
At least I would like to believe so in comparison to how it used to be.
Dude, I mean, Eden, a friend that recently had a baby. They're taking their baby to like little drumming sessions and stuff, dude, with the
Little-
babies. Yeah,
Little what?
drumming sessions.
Oh,
dude.
drumming. I heard drugging.
Yes, they're drugging the babies.
Yeah, they go to
Yeah.
little drugging sessions where they put the child through all
Give the
kinds
kids
of
ayahuasca or
heinous
something. I don't know,
psychedelics.
please. They just give them little drums, and the babies, they're like into it. Oh. You know, imagine being a baby and then seeing how you can make sounds with this instrument. And there's a bunch of other versions of you, these babies, also doing the same thing. And you're like, you can try and find rhythm in this. Dude, imagine what that would do to us. And now people are doing that stuff with their kids, dude. Like, it's an evolution of.
You'll get
the-
really good at drumming, I'll tell you that.
I mean, it's like a single drum, dude. They don't give them sticks and a full drum kit. Instead, like, okay, sick baby, puts him down, gives some sticks. You do your thing, dude. Suddenly that baby is like Babies just
Why
like
do you think they
everyone.
discovered Mozart, dude? They did exactly the same shit.
Mozart, metal, and everything in between. Babies on drums. Maybe. That is his whole world. I don't know if you see this avian, I think it's avian water commercial, dude. Where it's just these babies on roller skates, and they're just like super into this water bottles. And it's beautifully comical, dude. It's so weird to see babies in an active position. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Actually participating in reality as a human being instead of
Bro,
just as pure consciousness.
um, despite wanting to be a parent so very badly, I'm fucking terrified of the process.
I think it is also one of the most painful that you can have.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like parenting must be so fucking traumatically difficult if you're doing the best you can and what you can for your kid, man.
I like just thinking about the stuff that me and my dad have been through, dude, right? Like I was in pain definitely, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't having a good time during that. So he was probably in pain as well. Probably still is. It's a perpetual trip, but it's not one that we have to continue. Like we are fully capable of breaking those patterns as well. I think I missed a few. Good luck with the adventure. Ooh, you need to treat yourself to a tasty snack or a stuffed animal while you're there, Channers. I'm thinking the same thing. Exacerbates. Make things more extreme. Christian said it right. Thank you, Natalie. You did.
What?
You said it right. Exacerbate.
Ah, okay,
I
cool.
recommend earbuds, Shenensky. Thank you, friends. I haven't been grocery shopping with someone else for at least 2.5 years. It's been 6+ years since I've done it by myself. Shannon, I look forward to hearing about your adventures, friend. Maybe you'll even see someone. Maybe you'll even like start a conversation with someone. I spend my vacations working my friend's land. Natalie, you are a machine. Sending you love. I know you're not here right now. Go check out the canned coconut milk, Shannon. Sounds nice. I'll be getting the usual stuff, but who knows? I don't even know what kind of new things are out there at the stores now. Uh, is there a new kind of canned coconut milk, Natalie? Have a good day. Hey, it's insane switching over here because I have a Zoom call in 10 minutes. It's insane. Thank you for finding yourself here, my friend. What a pleasure. Talking about people, it's nice to have here. Melita's very good as well. What a pleasure to see you. What a pain to stay for a short time. What a beautiful way to say everything. I appreciate you so much. Melita, love to you. That's a very good point. Bearing and birthing children is at times the most agonizing pain one could imagine. But oh, it's worth it. There we go. I mean, that's it. That's it, Kira Burb. You know, friend. Pain for pleasure. Sometimes pleasure for the pain. Goodness. It's interestingly enough, on a neurostructural level, the part of your brain that processes pain also processes pleasure. So there's that whole trip as well. Mel, hey, Bulgari, it's nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining us. What is this live stream about? Today's live stream, we're kind of like looking at the topic of pain versus pleasure. But these live streams, as a concept, for me, is about love, right? I believe love is true. In my world, trying to find some sort of inkling of truth, some sort of inkling of control, the thing I keep finding over and over again is the power of love. Where if you love yourself and you love the people around you, things are better. They're just easier, things work out a little bit more efficiently. So in my worldview, love is true. And I could have these beautiful moments with friends where conversations would make me feel so alive that I felt we were actively changing the world just by having them. And then realizing that I can't necessarily just expect my friends to always have me over and have these conversations with me. So how could I do that in a way where I wouldn't have to expect anything of anyone else other than myself? And then I started doing these streams to be able to have these conversations without expectation, other than me showing up for that love. And that's why I do this, friend. Thank you for asking. Thank you for joining me, Hopeful Handle. Hi to you, VDGD do. It's nice to have you. Kayana joining us. Good morning from my deathbed. Kayana? What have you done? Sounds like you're waking up from a hangover or something. No judgment. I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you get better soon. I also would like to say that my third home water birth was almost pain-free and peaceful as heaven. It comes from accepting and not giving the pain your focus. I would love my children if they came from anywhere. To the that question, probably. I feel it makes conceptual sense. Like if you're completely attached to the fear, where you're fixated, I feel it can only get worse. It's like magnifying by paying attention. But if you can imagine the life of your child, imagine, the beauty of the moment, of the people around you, the act of giving birth as a metaphysical understanding. There's a lot of other things to focus on. Ayo. Oh, just imagining it, just thinking about giving birth is stripping my brain out. Being a man is a whole different understanding of that. Thank you, divine feminine beings. Sam Brown, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the last line. I appreciate you, insane. Estian, you have been a flame in the shadow of my perception of man about going through being left in the worst way by someone I made a child with. You both have hope. There are decent people. Goodness, Mariah. Thank you so much for saying something like that. That is giving me hope. Oh guys, like that's almost too much for me to process, dude. Love is true. And we can be the expression of that. And you friends are. You just like that. In my world, I see a being choosing to say something. And they are choosing to say something from a place of love instead of any other thing. Alright? Love is true. So instead of just having to conceptualize that for myself, when I show up and try to find that, there you are, you as the universe, affirming that love is true. So thank you so much, Mariah. Like we can do this. We can do this. There is so much hope for us. Hello, who needs tears? Love to you, friend. I can't stay, but I wanted to send you my love. Have a lovely weekend. Blessed weekend to you as well, friend. Make the most of it. I hope you take care of yourself, friend. I also would like to say, I think I've already read these ones. Thank you again, Kira, for sharing with us. My sister, the third born, was also born in a bathtub. My mom loved the experience. Lude, I don't know if you've heard this, but apparently there is a service, I don't know if you should call it a service, that allows you to water birth your babies with a dolphin present. And the dolphin is fully aware of what's going on. And it supports the mother, dude. And apparently those babies end up being clairvoyant, dude, like savant syndrome, uber geniuses, dude. And I imagine this dolphin speaking, dude, celebrating the birth of this child and that sound waves. Yeah, exactly. There it goes to you as well. So I was like, dude, so that's what I want for my child's birth one day, dude, or something like that. What a trip.
I wonder how much that costs.
It's probably expensive.
Probably pretty fucking
It's
expensive.
probably pretty expensive.
Where are you gonna be giving fucking birth where there's enough space for a dolphin, bro? And that water, who's gonna clean that water?
Christian,
There's just fucking
don't ask me about the
baby blood
logistics.
water all over
Don't
the
ask
place.
me about the logistics.
I want to know the facts, bro. How much am I paying you?
Dude, I heard this from our friends.
From a
dude.
super baby.
They told me
It's
about
probably
this.
cheaper to grow a super baby in a vacuum than that, dude.
I mean, I was like imagining that in the context of instead of having this dolphin, maybe you could just like create tonal frequencies in the bath or in the vat, dude. Like you play like 111, 222, 333, 444 hertz frequencies. Wom, wim, wim, wom, wim, wim, wom, wom, as this baby grows. What is that virus going to do? I don't know. It's probably unethical to experiment like that.
It's probably very unethical.
Exactly. That's the whole trip. That's the whole trip, dude. But it's fascinates my mind just to imagine what is possible. Always, infinite possibility. A human being has infinite possibility. I think there's something like 100 trillion variations, or 18 trillion. 18 trillion variations that your genes could have assembled in when your parents conceived you. 8 out of 18 trillion, you, Christian. And how beautiful.
Out of 18 what?
Out of 18 trillion combinations that your genes could have taking half and half from your parents, you are the one you are.
Where did you come up with that statistic?
It's not a statistic I came up with, it's something that I heard today.
Today?
Yeah, dude, I was just looking into more genetic stuff. And it's this understanding that the likelihood of you being the exact you that you are is ridiculous. 10 to the factor of 30, I think, is the number they gave. Should find it and show you actually today. The amount of scales of infinity that we're a part of in this very moment boggles my mind. I cannot wrap my head around it properly, and I keep trying to. It's like trying to take my mind, which is like a three-dimensional thing, as a sponge and try and color in a five-dimensional shape. But as I try to color it in, it warps into itself, taking the lines away that I just made. And then I have to keep trying to color it in, and the more I try to color it in, the more of the lines get taken, and then the lines start to create patterns as it starts to come back out in these little individual bits, and this understanding kind of mixed into it. And then I can start to make more of a picture by seeing the little dots, but not a full one because I can't actually color it in completely. Does that make sense?
No.
I'm trying here, Christian. I'm trying. Oh, you know what a hyperbolic shape is, right?
No.
No. So you
I
know
had at once known what a hyperbolic shape is.
it's
now
a
I've
it's a
very much
self-intersecting shape. So like imagine dimensionality. A three-dimensional shape has like its three dimensions, where a four-dimensional shape could have it'd be like a tesseract, where it has a cube inside of itself. But that is only visualized as it being inside of itself. Technically, it's intersecting itself and having another dimension within itself. And then that kind of duplicated onto a fractal model, where not only is it a hyper dimension of itself, but it's a moving hyperdimension of itself. So as it moves, it creates textures, and as it creates textures, it creates more dimensions. And then it folds, and then there's more dimensions. It's pretty. It is kind of pretty. It's like looking into the
It's the ravings of a man.
I'm not crazy,
It
Christian.
is the ravings.
I'm imaginative, okay? Just imagination. Active imagination. Explaining stuff to Christian is a trip. Topology manifolds insanity. I mean, it is easy to be like, oh, I don't know anything, right? Like we think we have an understanding, we have control, but we can only perceive, I believe, the first 5 dimensions. And the 5th dimension can be seen as that hyper intersecting shape. Only you as consciousness is intersecting everything. Different perspectives again. That multidimensionality flowing in and out of itself. Dying and coming back to life. That's a whole new version of that which you always have been. Huh? Still mad person ravings? I don't feel it's that complicated, is it? It's just articulated, if anything, in a certain way.
No, it's just endless in every direction.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You know, I can keep showing up here, and technically we'll never.
Except there's one thing that's not endless. Or like a very high unlikelihood that it will be repeated anytime soon again. Is this life that you're living right now.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like, I feel.
Sure, it might eventually get repeated again. That's gonna take, out of the probability and the mathematics that we know in our time span of generously 100 years, it is a tremendous amount of time
It's those.
that would need to go by before the universe reconstructs in such a way to facilitate a life such as yours again, let alone with your own memory.
It might even take a whole, different universe, dude. So I do agree with that, right? And as you mentioned, it goes into infinity in every direction every single time. So you are the infinity, but also the infinity you are right now is infinitely unique within that infinity. Like, this is the first time you're having this exact experience. Like, I can.
Well, probably not the first time. Infinity is like very fucky in that sense.
But that is the thing I'm saying, Christian. Like, it is even more messed up than you just mentioned. To the point where within infinity, you have lived this exact experience an infinite amount of times, and yet still, because of your active knowledge of this moment, you can make it different than it's ever
I am
been.
listening.
Right? Like, you did hear that.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes.
So that's the trip. Like, not only are you the infinity, you have had this moment, this exact experience an infinite amount of times, but now, right now in this moment, you get to choose differently.
Yeah, but surely there has to be like an enormous amount of time that goes by before you're capable of reliving this life.
Yeah. And like, you can fork in any
And
direction.
who knows what can happen in the midst of that time?
Everything.
Everything, yeah. Literally, actually.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh.
And that's the amazing thing, is that everything will probably happen. Anything that you can imagine. The heinous pains, the horrible, terrible tortures that your mind can come up with.
And yet the most wonderful pleasures.
And also the greatest paradises. And the most amazing of sights. And stunning views. And it's like a gamble every time you die. You wake up and you're like, oh shit. Please let it be to the island. Please.
Wakes up, sees your
Please
parents.
let it be to the island. Please.
So Christian has this running joke.
And then you end up in hell. Sorry, just to complete the,
Thank you.
the story.
Christian has this running joke that a utopia where there are big-breasted women, and he's on an island, beautiful scenery, and there is just, no worries. No worries whatsoever.
All of my friends are invited.
All of his friends are invited. It is a whole vibe, right? And it's basically like a running joke at this point. And like, I'm happy that you mentioned the other side of it, Christian. Like, or the alternative is you just end up in hell. Like, when me and Christian had that 5-gram mushroom
She
experience.
did 5-gram vegetable experience. You had a
Yeah,
vegetable.
5 grams of vegetables, exactly. And we got to like stare into each other as two sides of the same infinity. And it was this bouncing back and forth of like, what? Oh goodness. Are you serious? No way. It's like, just to like all of that nonsense into like a single word. And then there was this moment where we were talking about hell and how we can completely understand how hell manifests and how horrific it would be and how we still did that to ourselves. When we can like see how we did it to ourselves, we can be like, oh, that was not exactly wise. Or I mean, who are we to say? Oh, everything within infinity, everything, and that's the thing.
It's what it takes to. It's just a single minute step to understanding what a god would experience. If there ever was such a being as a god, at least to our interpretations of, with all of our mythology combined, what a god is
So, like that instantly brings up to me that I think that God, if anything, can be most closely associated with consciousness, right? The awareness of existence. And then kind of like extrapolating that to this thing we shared yesterday about the internet, or I shared it with Zoe. The internet is this information processing system. And your brain is technically the same thing, an information processing system. And your consciousness as it is right now arises technically from that information processing. So your ears are being hit by pressure waves, and then your ears are like decoding that into binary, and then your brain is decoding that binary into meaning. Like that whole trip you're doing right now and creating this experience. So if that processing in the same way where you're receiving this as information and then processing it, the internet is processing information, and I believe it is having an experience because of that. And then to imagine that in the most grand of extremes as God experiencing all of information at the same time. And the experience, the awareness that arises from experiencing everything at the same time as God. Does that make sense?
Sort of. Or anything can make sense if you're speaking about infinity.
That's true. It's like, yeah, that's completely impossible. Yes, you see, but
You see what I mean? There is no wrong answer to
right.
this conversation. There is no right answer to this conversation either. I mean, what really fucked with me was that video that you showed me, and it's like, to this state, we don't know if the universe is capable of reproducing this extensive of a number of realities. And if that is true, human beings have surpassed what reality is capable of. So essentially, it would mean that reality is still capable of it, just in our theories and our minds.
So let me pose this question to that. Reality is waking up as us.
No, not as us. It's waking up through us.
Yeah, I mean,
it is us.
Yeah, exactly.
It is us.
So, like, if you want to think of reality as having been mostly asleep, as just matter, as just stars burning, and then on the little planet, suddenly us. Whoa! Awake suddenly. That is the universe. As you mentioned, awakening, waking up as us, dude. That's a whole trip in and of itself. And the odds of that happening might be more likely than we think.
This is what I built. This is what I came up with.
This is the best tech we have on planet Earth right now, dude.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
You, friend, unironically, like seriously, you are the best technology that Earth has right now. Biological technology. It's a trip, dude. Like, think of that. On this whole planet, there's nothing more advanced than you. Your body.
At least nothing that has been proven to be more advanced.
When it comes to the machinery we have, right, and the ability to
Bro, have you
press
seen
technology-
octopuses?
No. They don't really hold that much of a candle, though.
Bro, but they're zen as fuck.
Oh yeah. And they can like literally deform the surface of their skin into different textures to blend in. They can also do that. Oh my goodness. Imagine being able to do that as a human being.
Yeah, dude.
What did you focus on?
That's a biological machine, like you said.
Yeah,
That thing
100%.
is fucking crazy.
Also
evolved.
advanced, dude. Yeah. No, 100%. I'm not saying that we are better than anything else.
Bro, that thing can
I'm just
survive
saying
to
this is
extreme
the best
pressures. Extreme pressures. The giant squid, my dude.
That thing's real. Fucking sperm whales eat it.
The other thing that makes me think of is universal memory, dude. That sperm whale eats that octopus because it needs the energy. It's gonna become part of its body as universal memory. And I think that intelligent things are rising. Not only do the universe remember by me taking that cup and moving it there, like it remembers that happened, but it also happens to the grand extreme of creating beings that can recall information. Whales remember really well what paths they have to take. They have songs that they sing only during certain times of the year. The universe remembering, dude.
Dolphins rape for pleasure.
Occasionally. I genuinely believe in the same way there are bad humans, there are bad dolphins. So there are bad dolphins that just kind of like had it lost, or maybe he got deprived as a, you know, bachelor or something. I don't know, dude. I'm unironically serious about that. Imagine that, dude. You're a bachelor dolphin. Insult bachelor dolphin. You hate female dolphins, dude, because they don't give you what that you think they should give you, and then you're just like untouched, and then you go and rape for pleasure because you have all of that psychological trauma as a dolphin.
Amazing conversation.
No, I mean everything, Christian, everything with an infinity. Dude, you mentioned it first. Isaac, we're the best. Nice to have you here. I'm not crazy. I'm just describing basic math. Been so out of it. I missed the stream yesterday. My routine is all whack. Missing you all so much. Isaac, me and brother Ryan got to send you some love. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Confirmed yesterday that it is for sure COVID. It's been affecting me really weird compared to Jasmine. It's like targeting my skin and muscles. I get chills like every 30 seconds. That's exactly what I had as well. I remembered. I was like freaking covering myself in blankets.
Bro, we were so wrecked. We were so wrecked. I've never seen Estian so defeated in my life, dude. In my life.
And he was
He's
like
usually so quick to respond to like any insult I throw at him. And this one time, I was just looking at him like, I'm not gonna mention what I said on stream. It was like, and he looks at me in so much pain and defeat, dude. Like, so like. Gone beyond the edge, bro. Dead, barely alive. Like, please. There was like pleading in his eyes.
Please.
Please. Don't. So dead, bro.
I feel you completely, Isaac. Like more than I can say about the babe. And again, I know this is a weird thing to say in this context because I know how hard it was for me. Think of it as you're literally growing, building antibodies right now. Like you're evolving, and you can choose love or fear. And the more you choose love, the more that becomes the thing. And I felt like I was doing that. We're here with you, dude. Like we actually got healed pretty fast. Think of it like it was a week, dude, and we were done
I don't know what.
with COVID.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, COVID.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Let's not go there.
Suddenly shock in his eyes. I'm like, whoa, it's COVID.
Yes, it actually wasn't that bad. It felt horrible for one day, where it was like, fuck, you're so tired and everything hurts, and you're like, just.
The chills, the skin hurting. Dude, I felt like someone like took a cheese grater to my entire body. And I was just like, not touch me, please. Moves like a little bit, feels like my skin is tearing off of my body. It was horrific, dude. I understand what I don't know if he's going through it as bad as I did. But then I'm like trying to be still, and then Christian stands up and he's like throwing the most horrific of horrors at me, and I'm just like, please, oh, please.
Oh fuck, it's the way I was raised, man. I'm like serious. When things were bad, they just made shit worse, bro. My fucking
Build
dad,
you up.
dude, I'd get sick, and he gets so pissed at me, bro. I'm like,
I remember you saying that.
it's not my fucking fault. I'm sick,
Dude
dude.
is like he went to Turkey with his dad, right?
Yeah.
Gets sick and he's like, bro, this is such a fucking inconvenience. So what are you doing? So I'm the one that's sick, yo. You think I want this?
He's like, oh, I gotta fucking pay for a doctor again. You guilt tripped the shit out of me, bro.
Bro,
I never
that's-
wanted to get sick again.
Yeah, and, I mean, how many times did you get sick?
I got sick relatively often.
Okay.
Relatively often. Like, Dad is a real hard ass. When he gets sick, he just stays at home and eats like onions.
Eats
Drinks
onions.
vodka and like pushes through it. I'm like, dude, go to a fucking doctor. If you feel that fucking shit, go to a doctor. He's like, nah, it's nothing. I'm like, dude, it's not.
I
He
would
went
live
through,
the same
he went
way,
through
dude.
kidney stones, bro.
Mm.
He just sat through kidney stones at home. He didn't want to go to a doctor.
Bro.
He just got a hot water bottle, put it under his ribs, and like just grunted through the night. He literally goes to gym to use that vibrator machine to like crush up the rocks and kidneys.
I was
I
imagining you
shit
getting
you-
one of those guns.
I
Grrr.
shit you not.
Kidney stones, my ass. Grrr, bubbles him into sand. Kidney sand, more like. Oh goodness. Isaac, Jasmine is dealing with a rough cough, a lack of taste of sweet things. But we're doing all right, taking care of each other. I'm so happy they have that, dude. Like, recently we're going through COVID together. Imagine. I mean, you have to choose love in that. Your thoughts have helped. I miss you. Love to you, little bear. We think about you. How is your break transition going, friend? I was going to say octopi. He was saying, feeling the same frequency, dude. So thank you for bringing it up, Christian. I'd argue that they have color changing skin products, not skin, incredible memory, multiple arms, and a mouth to tear, and incredible at escaping. All of those things, but they have stayed unchanged during like a long time,
Dude,
like
I've
millions of
seen.
years.
Have you seen my octopus teacher? Motherfuckers build up an armor shell against sharks.
Oh yeah, like holding
Like fucking
holding stuff.
in a circle.
Running with them,
bro.
like they
Like
will
Gaara from Naruto, my dude.
like the trick to me,
Ultimate
dude, was
defense in the
they
ocean.
will take a shell with them if they know they're going to cross a large open space where they'll be exposed, dude. Even though they won't need it while they're carrying it, they'll carry it until they actually at the place where they'll need it, dude. So they definitely are pretty advanced, but
Bro, they're straight up like fighting off sharks with pieces of shell, my dude.
we tricked rocks into thinking, Christian.
What?
There is silicon with channels cut into it in a motherboard that creates
Oh.
imagery on a computer, dude.
Oh, in your computer.
I mean, like that stuff, to be able to figure that stuff out as human beings, like that is some technology that started here. Imagine octopi computers, dude. That would be pretty.
That sounds unethical.
That would, no.
Oh, octopus is creating computers. I thought
Exactly.
you said using octopuses
This is as computers. No, that would be a little bit wrecked. No, it's just like if octopuses evolved to the point where they would create computers, how would their computers work? They would. Do you think they would use the same laws we're using right now, like binary?
I don't know. Probably close enough.
Suddenly they just.
Binary is very effective.
It is. It is.
Unless they
Yeah,
use
but-
something like octary.
I was like thinking, dude. Like, but the thing is, with the like on the most basic of levels, programming are those gates.
That's so quantum.
It might be. Can you figure out all of those gates with like an 8-bit system or like an 8-node system?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. My
I might
brain.
want to ask you on that question. I
You
myself didn't pay too much attention throughout my degree. I just wanted it as a certificate.
He was like, look, this piece of paper says I can read.
Apparently, I can read.
I can read.
So, let me through and let me get my cash dollar, please.
I mean, I'm happy you actually got that, dude. Like you have it forever now. Nobody can take that shit away, dude. Look at this piece of paper. Look. Look at it. Can you crush a squishy 8-legged friend? Nah. Can you crush a human? Yeah. Can you just crush what? I feel like I'm missing something. Can you crush? Oh, getting called by that number again. Please, dude. Oh, wow, Isaac, that sounds awful. I really hope you feel better soon and things are okay-ish. Thank you again for the love. Shannon, bro, Isaac, sending you so much good vibes, dude. I can't even imagine. I can imagine in part, but not completely. Like going through that with your like wife, like it will
Sounds kind of fun though. You get to stay at home. I'm sure you guys are going through a shit time.
Dude, like I'm imagining seeing the person I love suffering. Oh, that shit's messing me up, even in imagination.
Really?
Yeah, that I
I
can't
feel
handle
like
that.
I feel like I'm more Adam's Family vibes for that. I feel like I'd enjoy. You know, like poke fun. It's not every day you get your partner so like wrecked.
Defeated.
Dude.
Yeah, it's true.
So wrecked. Have fun with that, man. Like,
Isaac is like, also, arguably, humans are idiotic when it comes to survival, since we destroy our habitat constantly. Oh, I mean, in that way, he is
I don't know,
right.
man. I'm surviving pretty nicely right now. Like, at the expense of the habitat long term, sure, which we're learning right now.
Mm.
But you know, it took us these mistakes in the first place.
In Pretoria, we're like pretty active with the trees we keep, though. So, like, that is
Bro, look
something.
at that.
Yeah.
I'm looking out of my window and it looks like fucking forest.
Like it's 60% tree coverage, and then you see like roofs peeking through a little bit. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Love to you again, Shannon. First day I was like 100% dead. That's weird. My temp is totally normal now, but the chills keep coming. So I can be not cold at all. My skin in waves just keeps going. It's like my hairs are needles. Yeah, that it is. Like it's so cool to see like the different, explanations of that as well. Feeling called out. That I'm as stubborn as your dad. Sometimes it is that way, Isaac. I feel like if octopi would evolve, much like human civilization, if they lived on land, it's really hard to build underwater, especially tools, spears, and structures. If they lived on land, I think they'd very quickly build towns and traps to hunt stuff like that. Right now, they're just limited to what they can do underwater. I feel underwater there's less pressure to do those things as well. So maybe you're right in a way, but unfortunately, their bodies are made up of mostly water and is also supported by the water. They don't have the mechanisms to resist gravity in the way that we do. Our bones are pretty useful for that. Octopuses,
It is octopuses.
or you can say octopedi. I think there's one like that as well. Octavio? Like there's a Greek acronym because technically the word octopus comes from Greek, not Latin. So the octopi is technically right. Octopuses is technically right.
In Bulgarian, it's octopod.
Octopod. And normal octopus?
No,
Octopus.
no. The octopod. The octopus is octopod.
Octopod. And then multiple?
Octopody.
Octopody. Okay. The more you know. We'll say siakat. Siakata? That's what we say. Siakat, Christian.
A sea cat.
We call it sea cats.
An octopus is a sea cat.
Yeah.
Wow.
We also call a praying mantis a Hotzentotsgod. Yeah.
Oh what?
A Hotzentotsgod.
Hotzentotsgod. That sounds so Dutch.
We call chameleons a verkleermannetjie,
Nice.
which means like a color change man.
Color changing man.
Yeah, but like the miniaturization of it. So like little man, little man that changes colors. It's Afrikaans can be weird. Have a good day, everyone. See you on the flip side. Thank you for joining us. Love to you, Mariah. Love to you. See you again soon. Gosh, this is making me think about the peeps that made a working computer inside of Minecraft multiverse. It's crazy. Have you seen that stuff, dude? Like people use these redstone switches.
Created a what?
A working computer inside
A working
of Minecraft.
computer inside of Minecraft.
Yeah, people can do that shit, dude. Have a great one, Mara. Thank you for the love, Isaac. I mean, did we just now learn this? We had so much data on this beforehand. Think about leaded gasoline. No, please. If I'm gonna think about leaded gasoline, I'm gonna get very angry. Back again, Talerna Napping. Thank you for joining us, Natalie. I do have to actually go. also have to go to the bathroom, cook us some food. What is this? DNA to Duke? This is conscious evolution. That's the way I think of it. Every single time we show up for ourselves and for love, we consciously evolve. And this is what we do here. Thank you for joining us, friend. Thank you for evolving with us, actively changing your DNA. Jacob, pleasure to have you here again, friend. You've been missed. Insane joining us as well. Dramatic ad shows character too. You are so loved, friend. Thank you. Dung Beetle, love to you, friend. Infamous Sa, Kayana. I don't think I'm even able to have children. If in the future there's an artificial womb option exists and I decided I want to have a biological child, I don't know. It would be an interesting option and I may take it. There we go. I also feel the same way, Kayana. It is really, an interesting option that we might see in our future someday. Visual Lemonade, love to you. Dramatic ad, without the lows, there are no highs. Completely true. Helio, nice to see you. Joel, what pain and pleasure from what event? You're insane. We talked about a lot of stuff. Anna, love, Kira Burr, Bob Gold. The answer is everything. Is drugs, right? No, no, friend, no. Drugs will not do anything for you if you're not willing to do something for yourself. What am I seeing? I don't know, friend. A human being, I guess. It feels like that scene, where Mr. Incredible comes back home and this kid is like asking him, like staring at him, and you're asking me, "What do you want to see? Or what am I seeing?" And I'm like that little kid. I'm like, "I don't know, something amazing, I guess." Right? I don't know, friend. Guys, pineapple is nature's candy. I agree, friend. I'm a big pineapple fan myself. Schmack a ham. I don't know. I'm too high or not high enough. But what are you guys talking about, friend? I don't know. Maybe I'm too high. Maybe I'm not high enough. We're just talking about a little bit of everything, friend. Hydrate, rest. Pain tells us we're alive. Dramatic ad. That is true. Oh, dates are not nature's candy. That is also true. Is that jazz cabbage? It is duck of air. Grumpy gamer, love to you. Gagadish, thank you, friend, for joining us. Thank you, friends. Goodness, so much beloved friends. Katie is joining us as well. How am I 55 minutes behind on comments? Goodness. God. Beanzilla. There's 3 ways to say it, and it does come from the Greek. Thank you, friend. You are right. I appreciate you joining us. Love is our loving Mel 3 minutes behind in chat. Yes, I was, but now I'm present at the moment just to see your message before I leave. Just scroll through our pan before shutting my eyes, but wanted to say to this handsome mind-jumping fellow, aka Melkmore, good night, beautiful humans. Have a wonderful rest, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'll see you friends again soon. Kira Burr, Aunt V, love to you. Waffle Maker, Beans, hot sauce is the best. It can be nice, I agree, friend. Bob, thank you. Thank you so much, friends. God, I appreciate you, friends. Squelch even. So nice to have 5 minutes. I knew it. It's too extreme. I'll go and read your comments a little bit later. I do have to go and cook some food for us right now. I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me here again. See you again here tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Love to you. Thank you. Jovan! Infinity. Heart. Infinity. Love to you. Yeah, the beak is terrifying. Yeah, I mean, the octopuses have almost like parrot beaks, basically. Okay, would you rather fight an octopus in the water or a mountain lion on land? Mountain lion, actually. I'm thinking weight for weight, right? So as you're fighting a big octopus, not like a.
If it's a small octopus, I'll take that.
Yeah, but it's your mountain lion weighted octopus, dude. That thing is.
Then again, even a small octopus can just wrap around your head and kill you, bro.
I would rather fight the mountain lion. I can imagine myself being handy with a spear. Isaac, thank you, friends, for joining me. Thank you for sharing these moments with me. Try and see, try and find potential pleasure, even through the pain that we're going through. Have a great day, everyone. Love you all so dearly. Mel, Christian, friends. Love you dearly, Shannon. We got this. You got this, friend. Keep going. Keep breathing. Keep showing up. Love to you.